Servus, Freunde.
Hey, Jimmy!
Wait. There's a sitting bribe, Buddymeister.
A sitting bribe?
Yes. €5, please.
€5? It's ridiculous.
Wait. There's a talking bribe as well.
A talking... Yeah. How much?
It's a tenner.
It's ridiculous.
Servus, Freunde. My name's Jimmy Cage.
And I'm Deniz.
There's a review bribe.
A review bribe?
€20. €20. Thanks.
Wow, come on.
Servus, Freunde. My name's... What are you doing?
What?
Can't just lean back. There's a leaning bribe.
A leaning bribe?
Yeah.
That's too much, Jimmy.
Oh, nice. Oh, I felt so tense the whole day. Thanks.
What? Oh.
Servus, Freunde. My name's Jimmy Cage.
And I'm Deniz, the Buddymeister.
We have reviewed almost 500 indie movies on the channel and also quite a few by director Shankar. We've done Erhoffte was the first one we did.
Yes.
Then I think we did 2.0.
Which we watched in the cinema.
Exactly. Then I watched Gentleman, which was his debut film. And anything else? Oh, of course, ANNIYAN. Yeah,
ANNIYAN.
Which is my favorite. Today we are talking about the 1996 Tamil language vigilante action masala movie Indian.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Because Indian 2 should come out sometime. I don't think this year anymore, maybe, but hopefully next year. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's no release date out yet, so probably
there's barely anything.
Maybe never. Maybe it's never coming out.
I think it's coming out.
Okay.
And I think Indian is regarded as one of his most successful and most beloved movie. It was Shankar's third film after Gentleman and Kadalan. And the man certainly wants to convey a message, which we will talk about.
Yep.
The movie was a huge success. It was the highest grossing Tamil film when it came out. And apparently it was also the most expensive Indian film ever made back then.
Yes? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, maybe Wikipedia is lying to me, but I read it was the most expensive movie. And I can believe it after having seen it.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe before I go into more details, I just want to ask you, buddy, what about Indian?
Indian. Well, the movie was written by...
maybe more. Sorry, a little bit about the story.
So the thing is, the movie starring Kamal Haasan, Nedumudi Venu, Sukanya, Manisha Koirala, and Urmila Matondkar.
Yeah,
we've seen pretty much. I don't think we've seen Sukanya anywhere. She's playing the wife of the Kamal Haasan character, but I think everybody else we've seen somewhere in some movie. So the synopsis of this movie, I found a synopsis that I really liked.
Okay,
the synopsis is Senapati, a veteran freedom fighter, is angry. He's angry about the rampant corruption at every level of the bureaucracy. He will clean it up at any cost.
That's true, but it's half of the movie.
Yes, it's half of the movie, but I still liked it so much, the synopsis, that I thought, why not take this one? Yeah, but it's of course about a little bit more than that.
Yeah, before I ask you again how you found the movie, let me say that this movie reminded me so much of ANNIYAN that I almost would call ANNIYAN like a spiritual remake, maybe, because there are so many similarities.
Yeah.
And like I said, Shankar definitely wants to convey his message, and he's certainly not subtle about it.
Yep.
And he wants to give his audience a big, crazy masala entertainer while doing so.
Yep.
What did you think about Indian?
Well, I didn't like it very much.
Okay, I was afraid, so yeah.
If I'm totally honest, I thought at times it was really terrible.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a Shankar trademark. That it can be great.
Yes.
And then there are scenes that are really quite...
Yeah, the thing is, it has its moments.
Yeah.
Yeah? But it was just, for me, it was just lacking rhythm, flow, depth,
absolutely.
and it's really totally ridiculous at times, and I don't mean in a good way. For me, it's ridiculous in a good way sometimes, but sometimes it's just really. It's a bit laughable and silly. And, of course, I always kept in mind, okay, this movie's from the 90s, and the effects weren't like at the standard that we know from maybe other parts of the world, and that's fine. I don't really care about the effects. So I know that Shankar is like erratic filmmaker, storyteller who is bold and tries things. And there are things in this movie that are really bold and I really liked.
Yeah,
but it's just. His movies, like you said, we watched 3 of them. I watched three of them. Entiran 2.0, ANNIYAN, and now this one, the 4th. It's like, it's not my cup of tea. In this case, I think one of my biggest problems is that like Entiran 2.0 and ANNIYAN, I didn't love any of those movies. But all of them like didn't take themselves that seriously in what they tried to tell and what they tried to convey. They made a lot of fun. They had the jokes, and they never like. And this one has all of
that as well.
But it
there
has
are also
this
scenes that are super serious.
Yeah, super serious, and it takes itself so seriously, and that makes the whole morale and message a bit questionable. That I just thought, well. It's really not working for me.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can agree with most of that. I still think I liked it a lot more, but I can totally see your points. I think there's definitely a kinship to Rajamouli with Shankar. Both are doing these big, spectacular, larger-than-life Masala movies. Both are trying out new technical things. They are working with the means they got at the time they are making the movie. And also in the early Rajamouli movies, you also have a lot of these commercial aspects that are kind of in the way of the story. And with Shankar, there's also a lot of that stuff. You can either love it or hate it. I think there's a lot of nostalgia for these elements. But now that we have seen quite a few older Indian movies and also some by Shankar, I'm not sure if this is particularly Shankar or just commercial cinema of the time, but there are so many elements. Like you have our hero, there are 2 women kind of fighting each other over him. You have the best friend who's a total oddball, goofball. He's the comic relief through and through. You have a superior who's sleazy and also obnoxious and drooling and I have fun with these elements, and it's also again and again the same actors. I have seen Gentlemen, and there are quite a few actors returning. And Shankar has a pretty loose structure. You said the movie lacks rhythm. Definitely, I would say it also lacks momentum. I mean, we will talk about it later, but when the movie is coming to an end, it's like, it still stand, but there are 15 minutes left, and kind of like in ANNIYAN as well. Let me look at my notes. So at least this review has some kind of structure. As far, I mean, I liked ANNIYAN a lot. I think ANNIYAN, I gave it like an 8 out of 10. For me, it's kind of a quintessential Masala movie with a big message, big, crazy, bold stuff in it, crazy humor, crazy song and dance numbers. Performances that are larger than life. It doesn't take itself seriously. Everything's like a cartoon. And this movie is also going that way, but then still it's an older movie as well. It's in the 90s.
It's almost like Shankar was like working his way up to ANNIYAN in that case, because here it seems like everything's pretty raw. It's like it's like this. He does everything he wants to, but doesn't know how to like push it into this 3-hour-long massive beast. So that's like a mumble jumble of everything that's in there, and things don't come together in the end. It doesn't feel as polished as ANNIYAN did.
I mean, that has its charm. It's raw 90s Masala cinema, I guess. And I put down here, it's fun, it's crazy, it's wild, but it's also a pretty hot mess.
Definitely.
So
the thing is, the movie starts out in a like witty, fast, and funny way. I liked it. We get to know. The first thing
introduction is great.
Yeah, we have the introduction with the first kill by Senapati. It's like the first introduction where we see the sword and the belt, and it's done pretty cool. And we think, well, what's happening here? And then we go back to Chandru.
And also great introduction. He's sitting in that car.
Yeah, that broken down car, old car, and it's like his office.
Yeah,
and that's nice. That's really fun because we get a good feel for. Of course, it's very much on the nose with all the corruption, but it's working. It's working. It's nice. So and that's a moment where the movie doesn't take itself that seriously because maybe it works that way. We see, okay, you have to bribe this one, you have to bribe this one.
Kind of dark comedy.
Yeah, and we have like all these files of I want a license for this, I want a license for that, and everybody pays money for everything.
It's like a satire about bureaucracy and corruption.
There is this nice scene where this lady, Kupama is her name, her husband gets shot in this police shooting.
Yeah, very brutal.
Yeah, and she explains the bribe chain to another woman, and she's like, oh, you have to pay this guy first? Oh, but then it's not over. You have to pay this guy. Yeah. And oh, there's this guy. And she always says how much you have to pay and all this stuff. And at the end, you've paid, I don't know, in rupees, but you paid like thousands of dollars. Yeah. And then it's not even like safe and for sure that you get what you wanted at the beginning. And all this stuff is very slow build. And I liked it because we got that intro with the kill. Yeah. We get to Chandru, and then like we're waiting. So what is going on? It's kind of fun.
I like the first half of the movie. Quite a lot, I have to say. I mean, it's like two movies running simultaneously. On one side, stuff with Chandru, his best friend, and the two women. And on the other, this mysterious old man and what's he up to. Yeah. And we also get a flashback where we see the freedom fight.
Yeah, and that's one of that's one of those bold things that I really liked. It's nice that he just put a flashback in there that's completely black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah. With some archival material in there. And with some fake archival. Forrest Gump style, where we see Senapati standing alongside Subhash Chandra Bose. And he's also fighting in the Battle of Kohima in 1944. Yeah. And it's kind of nicely done, and it's a bold move. Yeah. I thought it was nice. And the flashback is one of the things I really liked about this movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and the whole character dynamic between Senapati and his wife is kind of nice.
Yeah, that was great. Also, the thing with the puppets.
Yeah.
That was done really well, and you of course have these extreme tonal shifts. Yeah. So there's not a massacre, but the British are doing something absolutely terrible, and then these women are committing suicide. So it's super dark, it's super serious, and but it's done in a way that you can. I mean, you are in the situation. Yeah. You understand these characters, and in the second half, when these two storylines come together, that's where the movie comes apart for me. Because I think my main gripe with the movie is that this father-son relationship, this dynamic, wasn't really working for me. So, of course, Kamal Haasan has a dual role. He plays Chandru as a young guy, and he plays the father in the movie in old age makeup. And the old age makeup was really done well. Who was the...
Sometimes it looks silly. But only if like Senapati is like jumping around like a young boy and you have this makeup, but it's fine.
Yeah, it was done by Michael Westmore. And like I said, I thought it was pretty great on Kamal Haasan. On the wife, on the others, it didn't really work for me that way. She looked like she had an accident, or I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like she has wax on her face, and so it's not that great. Yeah.
So Kamal Haasan plays these two roles, and in the first half of the movie they are kind of separated, and then I almost thought to myself, why is he playing both roles? Is it just by chance? Of course it's not. It's the father, and we realized that after the interval. Where to continue? It's I have a lot to say.
Yeah, maybe we talk about these characters. The thing is, my problem was that, like you said, the dynamic between father and son was like fleshed out really well, and I think that's a main problem of the story. Of course, we get to know Senapati because he was a freedom fighter, and we get to know Chandru a little bit, but I think there's not that much going on. I think my problem was I wasn't really caring about any of these characters. I wasn't invested in the characters. And my problem is I didn't like Senapati very much. Yeah. And I didn't like Chandru that much. And Chandru, the policeman is the stupidest guy ever, played by Nedumudi Venu.
What? He's a super cop.
He's that storyline with the cops is so silly.
And again, it's totally like in ANNIYAN, because in ANNIYAN you have this vigilante, and we have Prakash Raj in ANNIYAN, who is also kind of a super cop, and finding out who ANNIYAN is. And here it's the same thing. Not the same thing, it's a variation, and that's totally cool.
That's true.
But you have Nedumudi Venu, who's also in disguise at one point, playing a Swami. And
I like Nedumudi Venu, but this is like, it's just too stupid. And the thing is, what I wanted to say is, all of these characters, they didn't work for me that well. I wasn't invested, I didn't really care, so this was something at the end. I don't know. So, who am I rooting for? No one. No, I'm rooting no one.
Yeah, that's true. It's also a problem I have with the movie, but I think Shankar is doing this on purpose. I mean,
this duality thing. So
first of all, I want to add something to Nedumudi Venu.
Yeah, please.
I like him a lot as well, and I think for an Indian audience, it's different. But to me, it's also kind of strange. We have seen him in quite a lot of movies.
Yeah,
but here he's of course dubbed. So he's dubbed, I think, by Nassar.
Yeah, and that's right.
I don't know. For me, the voice of an actor is quite important, and I see Nedumudi Venu, and he sounds very differently, and it's kind of takes me out of the movie, but just a small gripe. The thing with our anti-hero or antagonist, I don't. Senapati,
yes.
In the first half, it's a mystery why he's doing what he's doing, and I thought, well, it's just a theme that Shankar just wants to shine a light on all the corruption and all the stuff with the bribes. And I thought the character, first he was a freedom fighter, he was fighting for India, and now he's still fighting for India because the system is corrupt, everyone is corrupt, and he fights for it. But then in the second half, and this is an old movie, we will spoil it, in the second half we get this flashback, and then it becomes like more of a typical revenge story, because we get this flashback with the daughter who died in there was an explosion. And wasn't that something like in ANNIYAN as well?
Doesn't somebody die in some kind of
it was the same with the justice system. He was in court. I think
I can't remember ANNIYAN that well.
And then it became more like a typical revenge plot that he's looking after the doctor who was responsible for the death. And that whole flashback with the daughter, that was something where you said that the movie takes itself so seriously, and I thought in that whole segment it's so manipulative. We have once again a young woman who dies, she gets burned, and everyone is a complete villain. Like there's a young woman dying, and it's still the bureaucracy. I mean, as a satire, it can work, but because the tone is so serious all of a sudden, and you have the Kamal Haasan character totally shaken, and his daughter is dying. He tries his best, but for me it was like, come on, we go like 10 minutes through this thing. We know how it will end. And I'm not emotionally involved.
Yeah,
it's so,
absolutely. Absolutely.
So over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. And then the movie's 3 hours long, so you always have the feeling of, hey, why is it that long? It doesn't make it's.
I think it's just the formula of the time. It's what people want. It's the Masala movie. You have all the ingredients.
Yeah, but with this movie, I felt more than with other movies that we have a lot of characters that really didn't like bring anything to the table. The female characters in this movie, the two female characters, their names are Aishwarya and I don't know who the other one. The women who fight over Chandru.
Yeah. Kind of. There's a little twist
to it. Yeah, but all the stuff with the animals, and she's like caring for animals. And
I just took it as once again, big crowd pleaser. Everything is in there.
For me, it didn't work.
Fun animals.
They felt empty and bland and annoying, to be honest. Now they're fighting over who likes the mother of Chandru more.
That segment I put it down in my notes. That whole segment, cut it from the movie because at that point that's not important anymore.
Yeah.
But in the first half, I actually liked these characters because they were still independent women to a degree. Let's talk about the song dance numbers. I think the soundtrack was composed by A.R. Rahman.
Yeah.
A longtime collaborator of Shankar's. I mean, at that time, only 3 movies, but he did a lot of his scores. And it's a weird soundtrack. It's
I think there are 5 songs or so, and I think my favorite song was Maya Mahindra. I think it's the last one where they're like a queen and king, and the king is following him through the castle and stuff. The visuals are
we had talked about that.
Really crazy. But I think none of the songs was really that great. It was no catchy song there that. Like even ANNIYAN, even if I didn't like the songs in ANNIYAN that much, especially that Nokia song.
That's the best
but
song.
It's still in my mind, the Nokia song. And it has this, it was all right, but this one is, I can't remember anything. And it's like 2 days ago I watched this movie. So maybe that's my fault, of course. But...
no, I get that.
And I think the songs also don't like add anything to the story.
Nothing.
They're like only item songs that are in there to... They just... disrupt the story, and not in a good way. Sometimes you need this to like take a breath. But in this way, it's just come on. Now I don't want a song. Now.
Again, tonal shifts are extreme with the song and dance numbers, and I think we have to just look at this movie from a different perspective. I think also, especially in the songs, it comes across as a movie that just tries out everything it can. There's it's from 1996. You could add some computer effects at that point, and the movie,
everything you have.
The movie's just doing everything. Also, it's the whole morphing effect, morphing people, animals, objects all the time. And the location changes. We are in Australia just. For the sake of it, we're in Australia. We have kangaroos. Kind of spectacular and fun.
But there's
no connection
whatsoever.
No thematic connection. It's about corruption, but in the songs it's about anything. I don't know.
I wonder if like if I can't remember, but Michael Jackson's black and white video with the morphing effect.
Really
if that was like it was mid 90s, maybe it was even the same year. Because the music as well as these effects. Were very much influenced by that, and we know that Michael Jackson and his songs have a lot of influence on Indian movies in general. We come across songs all the time that are somehow influenced by Michael Jackson. So there's also a connection, I believe.
And it's almost coming across as an experimental movie at times. Avant-garde almost. It's just doing this crazy shit. And also the action sequences. There's one action sequence that's coming totally out of nowhere on the racetrack.
I don't know why. That's really bonkers,
It's totally bonkers. It's awesome at times. The stunt work is pretty spectacular. But then also there are some green screen effects in there because they could do it. Which at the time was maybe awesome. But watching it today, it's like, we have this great action sequence. And then these effects, and it's totally fake, and there's no way to it
Cars
anymore.
are flying around. It looks kind of nice at times. There's some crazy scenes that are just fun. But that's what I said at the beginning. It's like there are some scenes in there where you can see that Shankar has something in his mind that he wants to do, and this looks nice. Some of the action scenes, some of the killing scenes. There is this intercut scene where Senapati is pulling the weed, and
that's
he's and then they cut to pulling ahead, and they do this 2 times. It's really nice. It's like suddenly it feels like a real psycho killer movie.
Totally.
But then we also get like this really just not well executed live TV killing.
That's one of the worst.
That's like.
The whole sequence is pretty bad.
It's not only bad in the way what it wants to tell us. It's also bad. It's executed not
first,
in a good
you
way.
Also have to suspend your disbelief a lot. He just goes to a TV station.
Nobody's there. He puts the camera in front. But then we are on the side, and
there are a lot of exactly. It's like a montage with different camera angles. Who shot this? And we know. Wrong questions with this kind of movie.
It's maybe nitpicking, but it's still something that you just you see it and you wonder what.
At first, I also didn't realize, was this live? Was it not? Later, we find out it's not live. True. But when I first watched it, I was like, "What's with the police? Is nobody trying to reach there?" And
I was asking myself, if they know they're there, so it's not live.
No, it's
because
not like
they all like
something.
make this whole thing when he kills the guy.
That's so silly. They facepalm, and that's
no, he kills a guy on TV. Oh.
Yeah, and for me it was
why is he doing that?
For me it was like I was watching something I'm very against from a moral standpoint. I don't like how this is executed right now. And then characters in the movie were like, and I felt the same, and it was kind of crazy. But no, it's not like they say something like he sent a tape and they just played it because they thought there was a song on it, and then it was on TV.
Okay, so there is this. Okay, but it's not explained that. It's not done that well in the movie that we
I don't. And again, it's totally like in ANNIYAN. Towards the end in ANNIYAN, when he's on the internet, everybody finds out, and we have this short phase
website
in which people are afraid to commit crimes, and same as in ANNIYAN.
Yeah,
and we also have kind of same finale in this small room. Here it's in the hospital where they are fighting, and in ANNIYAN it was in a prison cell, I think. Very, very similar. But coming back to maybe a positive, all of that was still kind of fun. A lot of times,
I didn't want to turn the movie off, but for me, I was really not into it anymore at that point. And but I can totally understand if it's just good entertainment. You can just watch it and wash it over you and you don't care. But for me, it's like these things didn't work together at all. And the finale, like this last 15 minutes,
they are completely broken.
The fight when Chandru meets Senapati, his father, and then Krishnasamy, the policeman, and the Buddymeister comes out of the floor of the football floor. It's so ridiculous.
And there are like two or three twists in there where Nedu Mudivenu's character lets him go all of a sudden, and he's a fan now. It's really it's so rushed. And
then Chandru throws the chair on Senapati's back head, and it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Yeah. I think we just lost our audience.
but sorry, but the thing is, there is this fight between the three of them. Then they go to the airport. Senapati's prison break is a bit silly, and then there's this whole airport action scene.
And I mean, he's still an old man. Nobody's looking for him. He's running around. He has a car. They are driving to the airport. Yeah. It's so sloppy. I don't know, but it all could work. I mean, in Rajamouli's movies, a lot is also very silly. A lot of it also looks very silly and cheap. But I think the writing here, now my biggest gripe, again I teased it, is the conflict between Chandru and his father. Just didn't work for me. Again, a big spoiler, but we already spoiled the movie. In the second half, or maybe it was planted in the first, but Chandru, when he finally has his dream job, he takes a bribe because there's this really rundown bus.
This bus, and the person says, I'm going to repair it tomorrow.
And he has a really bad feeling about this. Still, he takes the bribe. That guy gets his papers, I don't know what, and then we get this scene in which the bus is full with 40 children, and it's again this manipulative thing. The bus is, there's an accident because the bus shouldn't be on the road, and all 40 children are killed. And this is just too much for this kind of movie. And then at first, Chandru feels bad. He says it's on his conscience now, and he's responsible for it. And I thought, that's fitting his character. But then he tries to buy himself out of it.
And by paying like the guy who's in the
first the police, and then
and then the guy who's like in the morgue looking for the bodies, and they want to put some alcohol in his blood, and they put some alcohol in his blood to like make it look like he was a drunk driver. Drunk driver.
So he tries to cover it up, and to me that was kind of out of character. I didn't believe that he would do this because in the first half he seems like an ordinary nice guy. And
that's my problem. Who should I like in this movie?
Again, I think maybe this is by design because Shankar shows us Chandru, and he's played by Kamal Haasan. He's kind of a nice guy, a little bit shady, but that's fine. And maybe the message is, even if you think you're doing nothing wrong, just a small bribe, what should happen? You can become like kind of a monster because things.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I haven't thought about that, but it could make sense.
Yeah. So, but our protagonist becomes completely unredeemable at that point with all the children, and yet he wasn't a villain to me, and I couldn't. And then his father wants to kill him because the theme of the movie and this whole vigilante kind of fascist thing, similar to ANNIYAN, it's also maybe problematic. But ANNIYAN is such a cartoon movie and so over the top that it's fine for me. But here, it's still sometimes grounded, and this conflict just didn't work. And like you said, I also didn't like Senapati. He was just one note, doing everything without, I don't know.
The one thing that I liked about him is that he has this, but it's not like fleshed out enough. It's like when he buys this little van and makes it a mortuary van, and he flees with his wife, and they are like rogues on the run. And that's fun. That's fun because it looked like, well, now this movie like knows what it wants to be.
Yeah.
But that gets lost later on. But I think this whole movie is like really working probably better for an Indian audience who, of course, watched this movie when it came out in the mid-90s, but also like that can identify itself with all these issues of corruption and the bureaucracy, and probably also the lack of the values that the people in power try to infuse into India after the independence. So because we know that bureaucracy and corruption is the big problem in India, and like all these values that people had in mind in 1947 and after that, it's just gone and nobody remembers it anymore. So maybe it works for these people because of course they know how it is. But
I can't criticize it too much because it's a entertainer. It's a masala movie. And Shankar seems to be he has a genuine interest in showing what's wrong and what's holding back India to become more successful. There are speeches in the movie like the small neighboring countries, small island nations, they are bigger than India now because they don't have this problem. Small interlude, but so silly. There's this. He says like, in other countries, they also take bribes, but they only take bribes if it's something that's over what they are supposed to do. And I thought it was so silly. Like, it's okay if you take a bribe, at least do your duty. And if it's something on top of the duty, then it's okay that you get paid extra. I thought that was really funny. But I think movies like Indian can be very cathartic to Indian audiences because it's a fantasy. It's a action fantasy. This guy takes it into his own hands. And I oftentimes have problems with that. We watched Rang de Basanti. I liked it a lot more the second time. You have had problems with it. It's also this extreme things in these Indian movies. And of course, you have movies like Batman, Avengers, superhero movies. These people are also vigilantes, and we are fine with that. We accept it, even though it's also very wrong.
But it's more differentiated in its story. It's like when I watch Indian, it's never okay. There is this duality that you talked about, but it's like never stressing enough that it's wrong what he's doing. What he's doing also. He's just killing people. And trying to do something good with it, but it's never like asking the question, okay, so maybe this is also wrong. He gets in an explosion at the end and he survives. And the movie like tries to tell me, okay, he's like a cunning, cool guy that survived, and we will see him in part 2, like in what we know now. And he's not a cool guy, and it's not. So you know what I mean? Because they don't. There's not this. It's not stressing enough that maybe I get this cathartic thing, and that masses maybe think, that's. But it also has this questionable thing of maybe now I should do something about that if I go out there. I don't know.
I'm not sure how much the movie is playing with it and how much it takes.
Maybe we don't understand that.
Because something like The Punisher also doesn't question itself too much.
Yeah.
Or all the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone movies from the 80s, they don't question themselves. When Arnie is killing everyone, we don't really question it too much. So I think I think we are more alert with these movies because there are also serious scenes in there, and the freedom fight in the past, very serious stuff. Yeah. And so it's harder for us to accept it as just this fantasy. But
it's also true about the Schwarzenegger Stallone stuff.
Yeah,
it's also true. We're just fine with it. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Maybe that's just the way we know our movies and we know how they're made, how they're produced, and what they want to say. Yeah, they don't take themselves so seriously. Or even if they did, John Rambo is just going and killing everybody. Yeah, it's fine.
John Wick is also just
it's true. It's
John
true.
Wick
So
we accept it because it's the system. Everyone in that system knows.
But maybe it's just it's how you build the character, how you tell us about this character, what he wants.
And I think we're coming to an end now, but maybe to end it with a positive on paper at least, or also a little bit in the movie. I like the idea that the son is he's the young one, he's growing up in the corrupt system. For him it's normal that he's corrupt. The dad can't take it anymore, so we have this conflict, this clash, and the themes of corruption. Shankar is basically exploring it. I didn't see all of his movies, but also in Gentleman, where it's about this kind of Robin Hood character who's taking from the rich, and in ANNIYAN especially, and he's exploring these themes and doing something different with it in each movie. In ANNIYAN, it's to an extreme. It's the same guy who is super nice, also a vigilante, and here it's also the same guy, at least the same actor because it's both Kamal Haasan. So there's something interesting in there. I don't think it completely works, but I also think it's funny that we get Indian too, and again it's Kamal Haasan, I assume, and now he's of course older.
Is he 70 already?
I think he's
I think Senapati is 75 in the movie, or is he 70, 75? Supposed to be. I don't know. So like maybe.
So Kamal Haasan is in his 60s now. The old age.
Maybe he gets young makeup now.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. That's what you just said. But it will be interesting how it looks. Yeah. Do you have something for me in German?
Yes. It's not going to be pretty.
Oh damn.
Indien hat für mich leider fast gar nicht funktioniert. Es gibt ein paar nette, verrückte Ideen und Szenen, aber insgesamt ist alles viel zu oberflächlich, platt und auch albern inszeniert.
Damn. So, this is your least favorite movie from Shankar? Because I think I still like this more than...
I don't know. I mean, 2.0, I gave it 5. I gave it 5.0, yeah. No, 5.2.0, yeah. But I don't know. Entiran was alright. I think ANNIYAN is my favorite, although I also just gave it a 6 out of 10. I'm just not a Shankar guy, and I hope that's okay.
The movie I is also from him, right?
Yeah. Maybe that's the one. Maybe I is the one.
I think that will kill us. It looks so crazy. I'm not sure, but we will watch it eventually. The one. For me, ANNIYAN is clearly my number one. But then I think, then Gentleman, his first movie. Then I would probably go with Indian, and then Entiran and 2.0 probably. Okay. So, my German part. Shankars INDIAN ist für mich leider nicht der erhoffte Klassiker. In jedem Fall ein ziemlich wahnsinniger und auch unterhaltsamer Masala Streifen, der aber leider auch einfach ein ziemliches Durcheinander ist und mich immer wieder an den meiner Meinung nach deutlich stärkeren ANNIYAN hat denken lassen.
This is going to be our longest review, I think.
That's fine. I think we had a lot to say.
So, what is your rating?
I give Indian 6 out of 10. It's more like 6.3, but I don't do that.
For me, it's 5 out of 10. It's more like 5.1, but I don't do that either.
Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah, so Jimmy.
Yeah.
A survey was conducted from June to September 2020 by the Transparency International Organization revealed that 39% of Indians paid a bribe at least once in the previous 12 months for public services.
Did you ever pay a bribe?
Oh,
personally?
I just thought I said something. No, did I pay a bribe? No.
Never.
No.
It's completely foreign.
To us it's really foreign, yeah.
We only know it from action movies where cops are getting bribed.
Yeah, but I maybe it's fortunately I was never in a situation where I had the feeling of, hey, now I have to pay someone to.
Maybe if you are at a club and you get clothes and maybe here this is extra for you, but it's
even then I'm never like now get us a table or something. A good table in this restaurant. No, it's just not that common here, and I would feel so strange to do that. Yeah. But
did you ever get a bribe?
Don't know. For what? I have nothing to offer.
All right. Okay, I think that's our review. Please let us know what you think about Indian. We know it's a pretty beloved movie. Yeah. Maybe we will get cancelled over.
We will not be as beloved
anymore.
Yes.
Okay, you can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and also on Patreon, simply at the Jimmy Cage.
And you can hit me up on Twitter at the Buddymeister.
And maybe if you still enjoyed this review, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you liked.
And make sure you hit that bell for all we have to tell.